Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today's video is another first impression video. I'm doing a first impression on complex.so, which is like I would call it a task management application. If you're new to this channel, these first impression videos just mean that I haven't tested out the application before making the video. So let's jump right into the pricing here. So we have a free plan, which gives you 1 gig of storage space and up to 10 megabytes per file upload. You also have a growth plan, which gives you unlimited spaces up to 10 team members. This is mainly like a team tool, but I think it can be used for personal productivity as well. You get 200 gigs of storage space and 150 megabytes per file upload. You also have the Plus plan, which gives you unlimited spaces, unlimited members, 1 terabyte of storage space, and 1 gig per file upload. So this is the price monthly. That is 0, 10, 15, and there is also a plus AI. It literally says plus AI. Enhance your team collaboration with AI-powered insights. So you get centralized AI assistant, AI reporting, AI enhanced search. This is probably the thing I like the most. AI writing assistant, again, something I would probably use, but I am getting tired of AI in general. However, I am really happy to see that this seems to be an add-on and not something they force upon you, which is something a lot of other applications do. They force you to have AI and then they increase their pricing. So let's jump into the application. As I said, I haven't tested it out. I've just made the application. I am currently on a free trial for the Pro plan. I think I'm on the Grow or Plus plan. I'm not actually sure, but there isn't a major difference for what I am going to show in this video. So this is my space. I think I can have multiple different spaces because I'm on the Pro plan. So let's try to create a task here, test, and it actually goes right in here. So quite simple. It goes automatically to today because it says today here. But let's say I wanted to have the due date um, a little later, and let's say this was test 2, press enter. So I have the coming 7 days. What if this was in September? So let's call this test 3. So it just goes to upcoming. Can I drag these between each other? I actually can. That is something I really like. So let's say I wanted to do this today. I wanted to do this another day. I can drag these up and down depending on when I want to do them. If I click this, I can add comments. I can change the status from to do, in progress, and completed. I have reminders here. I also have priority. I can add attributes like labels, estimate, subtasks, and cover image. The estimation uses points just like you would do in Scrum, where you give a task an amount of points to see how big the task is. Something a lot of people are familiar with. So you have 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, and 8 points that you can add. And that is the basic things you can add um, in a task. I showed you the space here, but I'm not sure. I think this just shows me my entire space, and recent shows me my last 25 tasks added. I like that if I hover over, I can see what they do. So spaces actually groups things by a space. I can also group them by date. How do I add a new space? So how do I actually do that? So that was my tasks. What happens if I click now? What happens if I click my tasks? So clicking these doesn't make a difference. What happens if I click spaces? So that I think opens up something at least. So I have a sample space here. Let me just go ahead and remove that. it seems like I can create pages in here more like an all-in-one application rather than just a task management. If I press the plus here, I can choose between. It seems like I should be able to create a task board in the future, but I can create a page, a file, and a shortcut. Let's create a page. And let's do just write test, and enter doesn't actually bring it down, so I will have to click. Does it have backslash functionality? No. Does it work with Markdown? It does, and it has some formatting abilities here. Um, so if I do test like this, so it works with Markdown. What if I try to add a task? Well, I have to do it like this, I think. And I can add tasks. So you can basically create pages and documents, just, I would say, similar to something like ClickUp, because there isn't an easy way to organize these. So similar to ClickUp, you have like basic documents. I have a calendar here as well. So here I can see my tasks in a calendar view. Just click through this. So it stopped working again. This time it isn't my internet, it is the application. So can I drag these around? I can actually drag these in the calendar as well. That is also something I really like. And I can sync my Google Calendar, so I can view all of my Google Calendar events in this calendar as well. And it uses my spaces, like the hashtag is for the space I created. If I go back here, you can see it in here as well. Can I create a new space? I can. So let's call this test space. Um, and just create a space. Spaces can be used for projects, for example. And if I go back here now, can I add it to another space? So let's do test 1, 2, 3, and create the task. So here I can actually see it grouped by spaces, or I can see it grouped by date, and you can see that it has a different icon. So I really like that. You can see that here as well. So I really like the task management here. There is also chat abilities. So if you had a team that was working from within this application, you could actually use the chat. So for a small team, this would be great. Little similar to something like Slack. It uses the different spaces as the places to chat. You have an inbox with notifications, and you have search as well. And from search, I can actually create new task and new space. And creating a new task can also be done by pressing Alt C, I think. Was it Alt C or was it Alt? It was. Let's try that again. Alt C. It doesn't work. It actually just brings up my Morgan instead. So I have a couple of problems with keyboard shortcuts because I have so many applications, and some keyboard shortcuts, like, they work instead of the one inside of my application. It is really, really annoying, but it should probably work. Um, I think I've covered like the main things here. The- Oh, there is a now. So the now works now. It didn't work, but this seems to be like a feed. I know that Notion recently introduced like feeds into their databases, and this seems to be a little similar. And I can do it like everyone, or I can do test space or social media ideas. So I can do it based on spaces as well. That covers everything from this application. I think it looks super interesting. It has a lot of like team features, but so does something like Taskade, and people still use that for personal use. But in general, I really like the application. I like the different views. I like how, especially the task management, how that works both in the calendar, the grouping, and I also like the fact that it is opinionated. Like, I don't have too much like, there isn't too much ability to customize things, and that is something I like in a task manager. So I think it is a super interesting application, especially for personal use on the free plan, and definitely something worth taking a look at. I think that covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can.